Let me ask you something. When was the last time you truly sat in silence? No phone buzzing, no background noise, no distractions. Just you and your thoughts. Sounds uncomfortable, doesn't it? That's because we live in a world that glorifies noise, chaos, and constant connectivity. But here's a secret that the most powerful people understand. Silence is not weakness. It's an advantage. In fact, sometimes the best move you can make isn't to fight harder, speak louder, or push forward. It's to disappear, not in a dramatic cutoff. Every one way, but in a way that allows you to reclaim your energy, reset your mind, and re-enter the world with more clarity and control than ever before. Silence is a weapon. It forces people to wonder what you're thinking, what you're planning, and most importantly, what version of you will emerge next. Imagine if, instead of reacting to everything, you simply pulled back, went quiet, and worked in the shadow. That's the power of silence. It's time to disappear, not out of fear, but out of strategy. Because sometimes the loudest statement you can make is saying nothing at all. Think about the last argument you had or the last moment you felt the need to prove yourself. Did speaking more actually change the outcome? Or did it drain your energy while the other person remained unchanged? The truth is, silence is one of the most underrated forms of power. When you remove yourself from the noise, you gain perspective. Instead of reacting emotionally, you start observing with clarity. Successful people, leaders, visionaries, and strategists know when to stay quiet. They don't waste energy on meaningless debates, social media arguments, or seeking validation from others. They disappear, not to run away, but to reposition themselves. Because when you stop explaining yourself, when you stop justifying your every move, you become a mystery. And in that mystery lies influence. The moment people can't predict you, they start respecting you. They wonder what you know that they don't. Silence forces people to fill in the gaps with curiosity and speculation. It shifts the power dynamic in your favor. When you master the art of disappearing, you're no longer controlled by impulse. You control the game itself. Most people live their lives reacting to the world around them, answering calls, responding to texts, engaging in pointless conversations, and constantly explaining themselves. But here's something they don't realize. Every time you respond, you give away a piece of your power. The more available you are, the less valuable you become. That's why disappearing strategically is essential. It's not about ghosting people or vanishing without purpose. It's about creating space between you and the world so you can regain control over your energy, your time, and most importantly, your mind. When you step back, something incredible happens. You start seeing things clearly. You realize which relationships drain you, which conversations are pointless, and which distractions keep you from your real goals. Silence isn't passive. It's an active decision to remove yourself from unnecessary battles and refocus on what truly matters. Imagine if, instead of explaining yourself to everyone, you simply walked away and let your actions do the talking. Imagine if, instead of seeking approval, you worked in silence and let your success be the proof. That's how you reclaim control, by choosing when and where to engage. Silence does something powerful. It makes people uncomfortable. In a world where everyone is talking, explaining, and oversharing, your silence becomes a statement. It forces people to wonder what's on your mind, what you're thinking, and what you're planning. That's a psychological advantage. Think about it. When someone pauses during a conversation instead of immediately responding, it creates tension. That tension makes others eager to fill the gap, often revealing more than they intended. Silence isn't just about retreating. It's a tool for control. When you're quiet, you become unpredictable, and unpredictability makes you powerful. It removes the ability for others to manipulate you because they can't read your next move. Strategic silence also builds presence. When you finally do speak, people listen. Your words carry more weight because they aren't diluted by constant chatter. You become someone worth paying attention to. So the next time you feel the urge to explain yourself, to justify your decisions, or to react emotionally, pause. Say nothing. Let the silence do the work for you. You'll be surprised how much power you gain just by choosing when to speak, and when to speak, and when to speak, and when to disappear. There's an old saying, move in silence and let your success make the noise. But in today's world, where everyone broadcasts their every move, staying silent feels almost unnatural. People share their goals before they've even started, announce their plans before they've taken action, and seek validation before they've put in the work. And that's exactly why disappearing is so powerful. When you stop announcing your next move, no one can interfere. No one can sabotage what they don't see coming. Think about it. Every time you tell someone what you're about to do, you give them the opportunity to question it, criticize it, or plant seeds of doubt in your mind. But when you work in silence, all that energy stays with you. You become more focused, more disciplined, and more unstoppable. It's not about hiding. It's about protecting your vision. The strongest players in any field don't reveal their strategy. They execute it. They show up when it's time to perform, and by then, it's too late for anyone to stop them. So take a step back. Disappear from the noise, from the expectations, from the need to be seen. Work in silence. And when you return, let your results speak for themselves. Disappearing isn't just about staying quiet. It's about mastering self-discipline. In a world that constantly demands your attention, choosing silence is an act of control. It means resisting the urge to react, to defend, or to explain yourself. It means understanding that not every battle is worth fighting, and not every opinion deserves a response. True discipline comes from knowing when to engage, and when to engage, and when to step back. The more you practice silence, the more power you gain over your emotions, your actions, and your energy. Silence allows you to observe instead of react, to plan instead of panic. It gives you time to think before you speak, ensuring that when you do, your words are intentional and impactful. But most importantly, silence protects your focus. Every time you speak unnecessarily, argue pointlessly, or engage in meaningless conversations, you drain your mental energy. Energy that could be used for growth, success, and transformation. That's why some of the most successful people in the world operate in silence. They don't waste words. They take action. They don't seek approval. They build results. And when they do speak, the world listens. Because true power isn't in how much you say. It's in how much you control what you say. Most people don't realize this, but silence is a form of self-care. When you disappear from the unnecessary noise, you protect your peace. You free yourself from constant distractions, meaningless drama, and the weight of everyone else's opinions. The truth is, not everyone deserves access to your energy. Every conversation, every argument, and every reaction costs you something. And if you're not careful, you'll spend your energy on things that don't serve you, leaving you drained and unfulfilled. That's why learning to disappear strategically is essential. It's about setting boundaries without explaining yourself. It's about choosing where you invest your time and who you allow into your mental space. Imagine if, instead of getting caught up in negativity, you simply stepped back. Instead of defending yourself to people who won't change, you walked away. Instead of responding to criticism, you let your results speak for themselves. That's real power. Because the moment you stop giving attention to things that disrupt your peace, you start creating a life that serves you rather than one that drains you. Silence isn't just a tool for success. It's a sanctuary for your mind. In a world obsessed with oversharing, there's something powerful about being a mystery. When people don't know everything about you, what you're thinking, what you're planning, what you're working on, they have no choice but to wonder. And in that wondering, you gain control. Think about the most influential figures in history or even in your own life. The ones who left an impact weren't the ones constantly explaining themselves. They were the ones who spoke with purpose and acted with precision. That's because mystery breeds respect. It creates intrigue. When you stop broadcasting your every thought, people start paying closer attention when you do decide to speak. Your presence carries more weight. Your energy becomes more valuable. Disappearing isn't just about protecting your peace. It's about creating an aura of unpredictability. When people can't predict you, they can't manipulate you. When they don't know your next move, they can't sabotage it. The less they know, the stronger you become. So let them wonder. Let them assume. Let them fill in the gaps with their own curiosity. Meanwhile, you'll be moving in silence, growing, evolving, and preparing for your moment to emerge stronger than ever. Disappearing isn't about isolation. It's about strategy. It's about knowing when to step back, when to move in silence, and when to reappear with undeniable results. The key is to use silence intentionally. First, eliminate unnecessary noise. Cut out distractions, gossip, and pointless debates. These drain your energy and keep you stuck in cycles that don't serve you. Second, become an observer instead of reacting to everything. Watch, listen, learn. The more you observe, the more you understand about people, opportunities, and your own inner world. Third, channel your energy into action. Instead of telling people what you're going to do, just do it. Instead of seeking validation, let your work speak for itself. This shift will make you unstoppable. And finally, when you do speak, make it count. Say only what is necessary, and when you do, let your words carry weight. The people who master this, who know when to disappear, when to listen, and when to strike, are the ones who move through life with undeniable power. Because silence isn't just the absence of noise, it's the presence of control. Disappearing is only half the equation. The real impact comes when you return. But when you do, you're not the same person who left. You come back sharper, stronger, and with results that speak louder than any words ever could. The moment you stop explaining yourself and start executing in silence, people take notice. They wonder where you've been, what you've been working on, and most importantly, what version of you is about to emerge, and that's when you know you've won. Because when you move in silence, you strip people of the ability to interfere with your process. No distractions, no outside opinions, no wasted energy, just pure, focused transformation. And when you finally step back into the world, you do it on your own terms. No validation needed, no permission required. The work you've put in speaks for itself. That's the power of silence. It's not about disappearing forever. It's about taking control of your time, your mind, and your future. So disappear when necessary, work relentlessly, and when the time is right, reappear with undeniable proof of your evolution. And when they ask how you did it, just smile. Because those who move in silence never need to explain.